Bada boom, bada bang, bada bop. We are back today. 10. You gotta flash the 5 twice to make 10. 10 best running shoe deals, May 2025. Now, I'll explain this in the video, but if you want an extra 10% off a lot of these deals because they're on Running Warehouse, make sure you're on the Supwell app because we have a discount code that takes 20% off of all apparel, 10% off of discount shoes like this shoe right here and some of the other ones I'll mention. It also takes 10% off of fuel. So if you're stocking up on summer hydration or your fall black gels, you got to be on the app because it will save you the subscription money even off of one purchase. We also have the best buy, sell, and trade marketplace out there. So if you watch this video, you don't see anything that you want. If you're looking for a specialized race shoe or specialized type of daily trainer, you don't see one on this list, join the marketplace and you'll find something there. We got the best inventory, the best deals, and a lot of these shoes are lower mileage that we have in the marketplace too because people put 1 or 2 runs on them, they don't work, and then they relist them, and they can help another hobby jogger out there. That's the whole thing with the Supwell app. It's not just an app, it's a community. Hobby joggers helping hobby joggers. All right, enjoy today's video. When it's sunny out, you better wear that thing forward because that's really the entire purpose of these caps, is to protect your face from the sun. It is really sunny and bright. Man, my last few afternoon runs this week have just been so hot. Today was better, but yesterday I looked at the Strava afterwards, feels like 81. Just brutal, absolutely brutal. But you know what's not brutal? Saving money on a new pair of running shoes. Deals. Here's the thing about deals, man. So I used to do the deals all the time. I don't know if people know this, but every Friday I would do a deals video for about probably 6 months when I first started this channel. But what I've realized is that deals are great for some people because you can save money if you're looking for a new pair of shoes, but they could also be dangerous. It's like a drug. Because even if you don't need a new pair of shoes, you see one of these shoes and you say, oh my gosh, it's $65. I've got to try it. Even though I already have 4 other daily trainers that I would much rather run in, I'm going to buy it anyway. And this is the whole thing you have to think about. You buy one of these shoes, $65, $165, $265. Once it's on your shoe shelf, it doesn't matter how much you paid for it. You're just going to run it based on whether you like it or not. So a deal is a deal is a deal. You gotta think about the opportunity cost of mileage. First up here, this is a shoe that I put a lot of miles on last year. And man, just pushing it in here, this is a comfortable shoe. I'll probably have to pull this one into the casual rotation at some point. This is a good looking shoe and a nice feeling shoe. It's the New Balance Rebel V4. This is known for having a broad base, wide platform, decently soft foam once broken in. Very lightweight shoe, 220 grams, just as light as the Alpha Fly, the Saucony Endorphin Elite, as light as a lot of race shoes, but it is not a race shoe. It is a speed training shoe with a training race foam blend. So it's a PIBA EVA blend, nice fitting upper. It's a nice combination of comfort and speed. Very lightweight shoe for faster daily miles. That's how I would use this thing. If you're looking for a nice shoe to take to the gym or to do some cruise style running, some treadmill runs, this is really great. And it's also good for those days where you have strides on the calendar or you want to pick up the pace here and there. Now, a cautionary note about this shoe is it is very low drop. It's about 4 to 5 millimeter drop. Maybe it's 6 on paper, but it feels almost like a 0 drop shoe. Feels very flat. Plus, with the way this rocker is set up, just look at the construction of the shoe. You can see as I'm holding it flat here, horizontal to the plane of your view in the camera, the toes are angled up. That's why it feels negative drop, because your feet are actually going to be pointed backwards. The toe is going to be above the heel because of the low drop with the rocker. So if you're more of a heel landing runner, if you're landing on the back half of the platform, or you just prefer higher drop shoes, this is not going to be the best option. It also is lower stack. It's about 30 millimeters in the heel. It's designed to give you that streamlined, almost traditional vibe, but it does have a nice fluffy feel to it. Give it some time to break in, and you will love it if you're looking for a simple shoe to do shorter runs. I'm not going to recommend this for longer runs. I did do a 23-mile long run in it last year when I was testing it, but there's just better options on the market for that. But $100 right now with our Running Warehouse discount code. I think it's actually $99 with our Running Warehouse discount code. If you're a Supwell app member, go to the top of the deals and discounts page and you'll see our code pin there. If you are not a Supwell app member, you should sign up, because then you get the discount code, and then you also have all of the other deals which are on the shoe marketplace. And I do these deals roundups, and this is what I think too, right? Should I also highlight the deals that we have on the app? Should I say, hey, Johnny from Idaho is selling a Saucony Endorphin Elite 2 with 10 miles for $175. I don't know. I don't promote the app like that. Maybe we should be doing that. Maybe we should be posting on the Instagram. We just haven't. All right. Next up here, this is a sibling to the Rebel V4. This is the Propel V5, another New Balance shoe. It also has fuel cell foam, but it's a different blend. It's more of an EVA-based foam. Very comfortable foam. Doesn't have as much bounce as the Rebel, but impact absorption is solid. It's also not a max stack shoe. It's more of a daily trainer or a speed training shoe. I haven't run in it in a while, but I remember really liking it out of the box. It also looks great. Another shoe that, man, I could pull this into the casual rotation. It does have a plastic plate, but the plate doesn't do a whole lot. It's not going to be hurtful or cumbersome. It's overall a really solid shoe. Not the most protective, we're going to compare to Max Stack, but for what it is, an excellent pick for a simple daily trainer with some fun and bounce. So $65 right now. This was a crazy deal. I knew I had to highlight it up front here. $65 for this thing, and I think it was on Ola Bird Sports, which is a Maryland-based retailer. So again, this is what when I was giving that example earlier. If you have the Glycerin Max and the Mag Max, and that's what you run all your miles in, and then you pick this up just because it's $65, you're probably not going to run it all the time. However, if you are looking for something lower for maybe your hill sprints or your short runs with strides, or a fun casual shoe, a nice jogging shoe that's not high tech, this would be a good pick. If you have an overload of race shoes and you want something simple that has some of those elements in it, this will be a nice pick. Also, if you're on a budget and you need a new daily shoe, this will be a nice pick. $65, can't beat that. Probably the best daily trainer deal on the market right now. That is just crazy for a new shoe. That's a really solid ride. I liked this a lot last year when I tested it. $65, you cannot beat that. All right, next up here, another plastic plated shoe. I reviewed this one yesterday. This is the Mizuno Neo Vista. Unlike the Propel, I did not like this when I initially tried it, but that's because my expectations, I'm not going to say they were wrong, but they were different from what the shoe delivered. Everyone was hyping this up as the softest and bounciest shoe ever. It was not that. The foam was just okay, comfortable but not fast, high stack but not particularly exciting, and that's okay. All of those things are fine, but it was also priced at $180 initially, which is why I also expected more from it. And then it had the plate, but it wasn't aggressive. So what I love this for now, and I ran it 12 miles in it yesterday, nearly 2-hour run, and it was perfect, was just the long, relaxed, slow cruising, not worried about pace, just wanting comfort and protection. This was a beast for that. It ate up the impact. There was no ground feel whatsoever. The rocker was really nice. It was just smooth, caught me at any phase of the stride and rolled me along. Not a lot of bounce to it really at all. It's almost like a negative speed assistance shoe. It's not really giving much of anything, but it also wasn't, it's not a negative speed assistance shoe because it wasn't hurting me. It's not like I was sinking into the foam and losing energy. It's just that Goldilocks zone, perfectly tuned foam for comfort. Think of it like a lighter weight Bandai with a plate, a lighter weight Ghost Max, a lighter weight Vomero with a really nice rocker. So if you want a shoe for relaxed long runs, this is a really good pick. $126 now. It is a specialized tool. It's a recovery tool. It's a chill mileage shoe. It's a base building shoe. If you're reaching up to the highest echelons of mileage that you've ever hit, this is going to be a really nice pick, especially if you can get over the colorways. Man, I do not like the look of this thing, but the ride of it is really comfortable. So if you want comfort for mileage, $126, this is an excellent deal. All right, next up, very similar shoe. Similar capability shoe here. This is the ASICS Gel Nimbus 27. I am actually really surprised to see this so heavily discounted so soon. This dropped December, January, around that time zone, and it's already, time zone. Ugh. Around that time frame. Edit. Let's fix that in post. Take two. This dropped January, December, around that time frame. And it's already $101 at Dick's Sporting Goods, which is just crazy. This colorway in particular, they call it amber. You could call it mustard. You could call it dirty lemonade. You could call it, I don't know, you could call it a bunch of things. I really like this colorway. It pops. It's clean. It also matches the ride of the shoe. This is, you know, when you get a shoe and say, for example, if this were an all black, that wouldn't make sense because it's not a heavy, dark feeling shoe. The Nike Alpha Fly 3, the Proto colorway and the Flames colorway, those perfectly match the ride of the shoe. The ASICS Metaspeed shoes in that bright red colorway, that perfectly matches the vibe of the shoe. The white and the pink, that doesn't match the shoe on those Metaspeed Sky Paris and Sky Edge colorways. This is a perfect match. It's a fun, soft, comfortable, approachable shoe with more bounce and excitement than you'd expect. I went 20 miles in this out of the box at around a 7 flat pace, and it didn't feel like I was pushing hard or working hard to get that pace. It just felt nice and comfortable. So this is a surprisingly capable daily trainer. That's how I would use it if you want a comfort-oriented everyday shoe. I've also done sprints and strides in it, getting down to 350 pace, 340 pace, and it handled those really well. So capable of a lot of different types of runs, but the feel it's gonna give you is max stack, max cushion, max comfort. It's got the great upper, beautiful stretchy tongue here. It has that upper that I loved on the Nimbus 25, great rubber coverage. So overall, if you're looking for what used to be called a premium daily trainer, but what people are calling just max cushion gang these days, this is a great pick. MSRP also 165, down at 101 right now. Really good deal. All right, next up, a shoe in the similar category, that premium daily trainer, elevated, versatile shoe category, designed for comfort, designed for protection, designed to mostly take the impact off, but also have some suggestion of being able to run fast. Saucony Triumph 22, also known as the Oomph. You might be surprised to see this on the list. I wanted to highlight it just because it was a good deal. You can get it for $108 right now on Running Warehouse with the Supwell discount code. I gotta say, I don't really recommend this shoe, so I'll just tell you what other people like about it. It's almost like the Super Blast, where I don't like it, but people who are bigger than I am or just putting more force into the shoe say they like it. I think this is really, it really is one of those shoes where it's mostly people who are bigger than me and putting more force at their daily paces enjoy it the most. I haven't heard anybody else like it for anything other than relaxed miles to be a supportive impact absorption shoe. So if you consider yourself a bigger runner and you want some protection, you might like this. The reason I didn't like it, it just felt too heavy and bulky on foot. If you just look at this upper here, let's do a comparison. So two categories, and yeah, this is just, it just feels so much lighter. I don't even think this is that much heavier on the scale, but it's just something about the construction of it. But yeah, look at these uppers here. You can see the Nimbus 27 upper. You don't have as much padding, especially in the back here. So much more streamlined. And then this also has the 10 millimeter drop. So not something that I love, meaning the forefoot is thinner, and then it's also gonna give you that feeling where the heel catches before you can get into the midfoot in the next phase of the stride. So for me, it felt clunky, it felt heavier, it felt awkward. The upper heated up. I remember just about this time last year, I had a business trip to Savannah and I was driving down there with the top off the Jeep, and it was probably about just as warm as it is today. It's almost 80, it's probably 78, 79 American right now. and my feet were sweating just driving down the highway to Savannah. So not a great summer shoe, but I know a lot of people like this for casual use as well. I've seen some people walking around in it. So if you are a bigger runner, you want something supportive and comfortable, you're not scared of some firmness, and you like a 10 millimeter drop, this could be a good option. I also have heard it's a very durable shoe. They did something to this Power Run PB. That's the other reason why I was so disappointed in it. Similar to the Neo Vista, it was just my expectations going into it versus the reality. This is Power Run PB. Power Run PB I first experienced in the Saucony Endorphin Pro 3 and the Saucony Endorphin Speed 3. In those shoes, it was soft, bouncy, lively, fun, highly rockered, explosive. In this, it was not that. Impact absorbing, yes, but also firm and maybe even stiff. Firm and stiff aren't always the same thing. You could have a shoe that has a firmer tuning foam, but there's some flexibility or some give when you pick up the pace. With this, it just felt stiff and rigid. So I could never quite activate it, and because I was going into it thinking it was something it was not, that left me even more disappointed, and I walked away saying, "Oomph." But we do have the 23 coming soon. I think some testers have even started getting it. So when it comes out in the next few months, I will most certainly be buying it. And I have high hopes for that because I know that they've lightened it up a lot. But until then, this one is on sale. All right, we're going back to back with my most hated shoes of 2024. Because they're both now on sale. So next up we have the Nike Pegasus 41, and it's funny because it's just been a year. How has it been a year since this came out? It came out in June, and I feel like I just got it, and I just was talking about it, and we just did that first run review, but no, that was 11 months ago. Same thing with the Oomph, right? That now came out over a year ago, which is crazy, which is why these are now so heavily discounted, and it's not a deal list until there's a Pegasus on it. So it puts a smile on my face that I can now bring the Pegasus back onto the deals list because the 41 is on sale for $80. Yeah, you heard me right, $80 again. If you have the Super Blast, if you have the Mag Max, if you have the Gloomfly bricks, and that's what you run your everyday miles in, should you get this just because it's $80? Probably not, but if you're a high school runner on a budget, or any sort of runner on a budget, you want something that's going to be extremely durable, or you're a Nike fan and you want a hybrid casual gym walking shoe, this is going to be really good. So it does have more of a low stack, almost barefoot feel in the front. The front here is that was a bada boom, bada bang, bada bop. But the front here is so low to the ground. It's almost a 14 millimeter drop shoe. And look at, so you get the thick stack in the back here. You get the low foam in the front. Look at the difference between the Nimbus and the Pegasus. Make sure we get the right lighting on that. So that is definitely a reason to buy the Pegasus if you do not like max cushion, if you don't like the direction a lot of the modern foams are going, if you do want to do the work of running. For me, I love the technology that is in these shoes. I love that the modern foams and the rocker geometries and how lightweight we've been able to get these shoes with the additional stack, right? This is almost, I think it might even be lighter than the Pegasus or just around the same weight as the Pegasus. So that's what you can get from the modern foam and the rocker here. This is a much more traditional shoe. It's heavier, it doesn't feel as fun. But it also gives you a more connected to the ground feel and a more traditional feel. So if that's what you like, or you just want something super durable, or you don't care that much and you just want the swoosh on your foot and you want a good deal, bada boom, bada bang, $80. Also a lot of the college and sports team colorways were the ones on sale for $80. So if you're a fan of Oklahoma, Arkansas, even the New England Patriots. I was sad to see the Patriots colorway discounted to $80 because that means our glory days are far, far over, and boy, are they over. Are those glory days over? Yeah, $80, not my favorite, but it could be your favorite if you like traditional 10 millimeter drop or something extremely durable. All right, let's go one more Nike Pegasus Plus, another shoe which at the beginning I thought was fine, but overpriced for what it is. This was $180 MSRP. You can now find it on sale. Dick's has had this one colorway on sale for $108 for a few weeks. So this is a speed training shoe. This feels like what the standard Pegasus should just be. It's a much better foam. It's a much better ride. It still has the 10mm drop. And this whole Pegasus silo, they're now doing plus or standard plus and premium for everything. It's supposed to be about responsiveness or bounce. This is awesome. This encapsulates what a Pegasus should be. So I wish they just made this the standard Pegasus, dropped the price to $140. If that's what it was, this would be one of the best daily trainers out there. Also, if they gave it 5% more comfort in the upper, widen out the toe box, it would be one of the best daily trainers out there. They could make this one of the best speed daily trainers out there. But at the $180 price point, that's just too much money for what this is. At $108, great option if you want something fast for everyday miles, similar to the Rebel. This is going to be firmer tuned than the Rebel. It does have that higher drop feel. I think more explosive and better for a true workout shoe than the Rebel if you want something that is more similar to a carbon shoe. This does have more of an advanced tech feel to it because the foam in here versus the Rebel. Rebel does feel more of like a softer training shoe. So really good option for speed days. If you're looking for a new summer track shoe and you don't want a carbon plated option, bada boom, bada bang. All right, last one that we have in the box here. And then I'm gonna give you, oh my goodness, 2 picks after this that I don't have in hand. But first, the one I do have in hand, on Cloud Monster Hyper. This one has been on sale for a few months. I've highlighted it a few times. Very similar to how I described the Neo Vista. I actually like this ride a lot more than the Neo Vista, but a shoe that's great for cruising. This has more of a bounce to it than the Neo Vista. It also has more of a floating feel, but if you want something for high mileage, if you want something for building your volume that's going to leave you protected, but I think the difference in the Neo Vista is you can do faster pace pickup in this, you can do strides in this. That's what this is good for. It is an elevated version of a daily trainer. It's not a workout shoe. It's not a race shoe, even though it has the race foam. It does a really good job at leaving your legs feeling protected, and also has this fun, floaty character to it. So $165 right now. If you're looking for a new everyday option on Cloud Monster Hyper. Now, last two. There was Skechers Max Road 6. I actually gave my pair away, but I'll throw up a picture of the Skechers Max Road 6. That was $85 on Running Warehouse, and that is a really nice shoe. It almost feels like a baby Glycerin Max. So that foam was tuned very similar to the Glycerin Max foam. Nice rocker. There is a carbon piece in there stabilizing it, but very protective Max Stack shoe. So if you want to try something different than the Nimbus, different than the Neo Vista, I would suggest that, $85. And then the last pick I had was that was just a leaf, Hierro V8 from New Balance. I forget what exact website it is on, but I'll link all these below. That's Charlie's favorite shoe of all time. And I didn't even bring her pair out here. I could have brought her pair down here, but it's pretty beat up at this point. She loves that thing for walking, even for road running. It's a trail shoe, but the rubber on it is more of like this level of nubs, and they actually went up super chunky in the V9 to course correct because I think it wasn't as aggressive for biting into the trails as people wanted, but that makes it a really versatile do-it-all shoe. Not do-it-all as in tempo runs and track runs, but do-it-all as in grocery store, hiking, walking the dog, anything you want to do with the sneaker, and it's just broken in, and she says it's the most comfortable shoe she's ever worn. So Hierro V8, highly recommend if you want a new daily beater. It also looks pretty sick. The colorway that's on sale, I think it's on Dick's, is a nice olive green. So there you go, 10 best running shoe deals, May 2025. Sign up for the Supwell app for some additional discounts, and I'll be back tomorrow with another video.
I've never actually seen a bird use the bird bath, but that's what was just going down right there. That's crazy.
I feel like I just trashed half those shoes. Maybe I should have called that video 6 best running shoe deals and 4 mid ones.